Hello, beautiful people. Welcome. It's March. Gosh darn it. Is it March 29th, 2004. Time just won't let up. And I'm in my comfy coat today. No flannel today. I'm in my comfy Lebowski jacket because it's a little bit nippy out here. I'm a little chilly. So I'm putting on my nice comfy coat. I got my Mario mug, my Mario coffee here. Mario coffee. It's black coffee. But I got my Mario mug. We're streaming the NDA podcast. The only podcast where I don't draw live. I don't draw live. I'm drawing. I'm working right now on Spawn Kills Every Spawn. It's a comic 5-issue miniseries that starts this summer, coming up from Todd McFarlane Productions. But since I can't share that right now, because it would ruin the comic and Todd would probably, whack me on top of the head, I'm going to play art behind me that I did a while back. This comes from a few years ago. Bring it up. Let's bring up Little Rob. Where are you, buddy? Where are you, Little Rob? There I am. And let's go. Here we go. What is? Oh my gosh! It's a Violator. Oh wow! What? This is so on point, Rob. Can't believe we're drawing Violators. Why we draw Violators? I'm gonna be drawing Violators while I'm looking at me drawing a Violator or coloring a Violator. So this is gonna be Violator Copic commission. I did this back in 2017-ish. I did a couple versions of this actually. I did this version, which is going to be full color Copics. I did one on tonal paper, and I did the lines separately too. So that was 3 versions. Got 3 versions out of 1 commission. That's how you do it, folks. Sell. So I'm going to do the background. This is the one I did different. I'm going to color the background first using distress inks on my own foam pads that I made. And I will do a video on how I made these, but I'm going to be honest, there's not much to say other than I bought little square foam pads from Amazon. Right, like 1 inch by 2 inch or whatever, and then I had them. Got a piece of wood over at Home Depot that fit them. Right, cut to the width. You can see that right there, and then I just trimmed those pieces down and then glued on the foam on the back. That's it, man. And they've held well since. They actually. Oh, you know what? I gotta check. Did I? You know what? I got it right here. Check it out. I should look and see it. Did I do the Velcro thing? Because I may have. Check this out. This is probably why I should make a video, folks. Yeah, I did. See, I even forgot. It's been 10 years since I did this. Okay, so what happens when you want to replace the foam, right? Check this out. This is the foam, right? This little. It's hard to see here. This little thing, but I glued Velcro. Is what I did. I glued Velcro onto the back, and I put the other side on the foam. So if I needed to replace the foam pad, I Velcroed them on and off. Look at how smart. Look how smart I was, right? And then I just wrote the name of the color on there, and there you go. So I'll put that away later. You're gonna see me coloring the background first using these little foam blocks. I find these to be way more reliable than the ones that Tim Holston them make, and they're bigger, so they cover more area. And then I will do the Violator in Copic markers, and then I will do color pencil, and then I will do white highlights, and then I will loop the video if it's still playing while I'm working here. Let's do what I like to do first before I get started. Let's do a little artist shout out. Right, I like to promote other artists while I'm on here, and I need to start screen capping their sites so I can put them up. So I think that's some new formatting I'm going to work on. But let's just give some names. If you want to follow, I'm going to give you 3 names. Let's do Todd Beats, Beats, Todd Beats on Instagram, and right now he's streaming as we speak on Whatnot. So Todd's a really great artist. He does some digital work, does a lot of traditional stuff. He does great sketch covers and stuff. Man, Todd's a great dude. Follow Todd. Follow his work. He is awesome. Another artist you can be following is Gang Feather, Ashley West. Gang Feather on Instagram, Discord, Twitch. Right here on Twitch. We're on Twitch. We're on YouTube and Facebook, but on Twitch, Gang Feather, Gang Feather. Gang Feather. Ashley, she's a great artist. If you like Cool World, if you like anime, if you like Ankama, things like that, Dofus. You like Dom Bluth, you like Skydoll, she's right up your alley. You'll get everything from her. And then the third artist we're going to promote today is Shelby Robertson, right? Shelby Robertson, great artist, great artist. American Discord, Dischord on YouTube. He just streamed last night. You want to see some great ink, some great Copics, brilliant Copic artist himself. Follow Shelby's work, go buy some Shelby art. And there we go. There we go. If you're wondering what kind of paper I'm using here, this is B marker paper. If you're wondering, Rob, how'd you get the grids on there? How'd you get the grids on there? I printed it out. You can make your own designs and print them right on the paper, and it's official. That's all companies do. They just print their designs on blank paper, and it looks official. You can do the same thing. Also, fun way to get your website on someone's wall, right? Like if you look right there, I put my website right there. So when they buy the commission, they get an ad on their wall too. So yeah, it does work. I get a lot of people coming back for work, folks. I think the past couple years, I've gotten more people coming back than new, but at the same time, I do get new. It's just that it's hard to turn down someone who's already paid you a few $100 to someone new who may not. So get in, folks. When I open up the commission slots, get in there, because I tend to give people who bought commissions in the past priority over new people. That's how it works, right? So I'm loyal like that. So anything else? I think that's all I got for now. So I'm gonna get to work. I'm currently working on the last 2 pages of issue 4. I'm kind of doing them simultaneously, designing them at the same time. They're not as complex as some other pages I've done, so I'm doing 2 at once, and hopefully I can get them all done by Monday, and then I'll be done with issue 4. Got to do the cover, but I'll get the cover next week, and then I can get on to issue 5 and wrap this whole sucker up. So yeah. If you have any comments or questions, just leave them right in there. I will answer them. If any topics you want to talk about, put them in, slide them on in there. I'm going to be here. We can gab, and ready to go. Here we do it. Here we do it. This is how we do it. All right. Once I start streaming traditional art, I'm definitely going to have to do a whatnot stream. It's part of my regular rotation. For certain. Where did I put my pen? There I put my pen. Let's get the mic out of the way. As always, folks, so you can use color pencil with Copics. As you see right there, like I'm using the color pencil to get right up on that art without having to worry about bleeding over using the stamp pads. You can use color pencil to blend. I love Distress ink. I love it more than watercolor, to be honest with you. It has imperfections and it dries in weird ways, and you get really great chromatic alterations and blah 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 blah. But the paper never warps when I put it on a foam pad, so you can use these Distress ink pads and stuff like that on sketch covers, your own art, and you never have to worry about it buckling and stuff. So it's super good. Oh yeah, I remember what I was doing. I have to block in a city. That's what I have to do. I have to block in a city and then destruction. Looking forward to showing you some of my digital drawing techniques. really sort of got the trick down to blob and draw. My blob and draw. Where I blob stuff and draw stuff. Draw over. Blob and draw. You can see you can add color with the color pencil. I want a little bit more Turk, but you can put that in with the color pencil. And those are polychromos color pencils, or oil based. I just love them. I really do. They're my favorite thing to color with. They never break, you know, they're really good. Little Easter egg for you folks. I did a digital color version of this, and I have hid it in the Spawn Kills Every Spawn comic. It's in the background, and it's a poster somewhere in the book. You'll have to find it. Hey, what's up, Timmy? Timmy getting ready to go see the Phantom Menace here. I bet you he is. I bet you he is. Yeah, we promoted. We promoted. We promoted. Promoted it. And for me to work on buildings while I watch. Yeah, see, look. So you can do all these burst lines with the color pencils and stuff. I was trying to do backgrounds similar to like the kind you'd see like on the Joe Gisco Marvel Masterpieces or those trading cards kind of back in the day with their sort of paint like G.I. Joe packaging. They kind of do like those bursts, you know? The thing I like doing the most. Grays. Grays. Not a fan of grays. That says cheating with that time lapse. Hey man, if I can't stream what I'm working on, stream what I've already worked on, right? While I work on. Cool part is, Todd, I'm recording what I'm working on now separately, so I'm making future videos. But we're not gonna play this game where Rob has to not stream for a year while he works on a comic, you know? Shelby likes to call on my fake streams. I'm like, all right, well, if you didn't catch me the first time, you're going to catch me the 3rd, 2nd, 5th, 6th, 10th, 12th. I don't care. I'm going to get 1,000,000 views out of this one way or the other because I'm going to keep playing it for the next 20 years. Oh, no, I know, man. It's so funny. I wish I'd thought of it a year ago. Like, I got all these time-lapse videos sitting here. I mean, all these real-time videos sitting here doing nothing. The worst part of doing the top secret stuff, Todd says. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, dude, Todd. Like I said, I'll text you some stuff, but like, I gotta see if I can stream from my camera, from my multi-stream, to the Whatnot app. If there's like a stream injection, I don't know if it's just phone. I mean, it's all on my phone, which is fine. If that's the case, I don't know. I'll have to figure out. I hate using my phone for streaming. It just burns it up. Why not do them regulars? Because it would be here for 6 hours. So a lot of these take me a long time, man. I just play the speed videos. Most people can see progress in a reasonable amount of time. I mean, I'm usually a stream for like 2 hours at a time, so you know, these have all been streamed at regular speed. They're sitting in my live feed, real-time feed on YouTube. I've just re-downloaded them and sped them up. But like, let me give you an example, Todd. Let me give you an example, right? So like, I'm drawing the book digitally, right? Because I'm doing all my own inks and stuff, and if I want that, if I want the level of detail that I've shown you, and clean, because my natural drawing style is like, it's more sketchy, right? So you have 4 phones while you're streaming. That's hilarious. Yeah, I'll figure out something that works for me. But I'm not owning 4 phones. But hey, you know, Rob's gonna want, Rob, as if I'm Trump. I'm like in a third person. So I want to sell original art, right? But I need to get the book done, so I do it digitally. Well, normally, how I've always drawn stuff was I would do a roughie, print out the roughie, and finish the drawing, draw it traditionally, then scan it in, and then go over and create a digital inked version of that, so it's all clean and stuff. Because I tend to just draw a Copic multiliner. It's very sketchy, right? Similar to like your sketch cards and your covers and stuff, right? But what I do now is, since I don't have that time, what I've been doing is, I already done a few of them, but I'm saving the rest. As the book gets released or pages get put in previews, then I'm going to print out in red the pages that I've already completed, and then do the traditional art after instead of before. So instead of before doing the lines and then digital inking over those, I'll do the digitals, and then later I'll do the traditionals, and then I'll have those pages. And I'll stream those. You know, someone would say it's not the real thing that's in the none of the thing that's in the comic is the real. You think Capullo's pencils are what's really in the comic? No, it's the final inks that are in the comic. So it's not, you know, people are just gonna have to get their head around. I'm not gonna be the whole I don't have traditional art. I mean, I gotta draw it again, so it's a time sink on my end, but whatever, you know, nothing I can do about that. I'm not Daniel Warren Johnson. I'm just not good enough to do it all in one shot. Glutton for punishment. Yeah, that's the secret to my success, Todd. I just keep going. You know, there's no easy way for me. You know, it's not easy. I have to keep. I gotta keep at it. You know. Speed is not the thing I can. If I play the speed game, I will lose. I've always been the slowest person I know. All right, like even in my time in the army, I was the slowest runner you've ever met. Can't do it. May as well just walk fast. In the morning, I haven't ran since 2001. Like I just walk. And what's crazy is, and I was asking my friends yesterday, like I think I'm walking fast, but old women pass me. Like my whole life, like even in my 20s, like whatever speed I think is quick is slow by human standards. So I apparently just the way it is, man. Todd asks, what color pencils do you prefer over Copics? Polychromos is my preferred weapon of choice. I use 98% polychromos. They're oil based. They feel so good, but there are a few Prismacolors I have because they don't make. They have like a light green. They have like a light. They have these beige colors and stuff. Especially this like really light minty. It's like a mint in some way, but very pale. And that goes great over yellows. You know that Instagram filter where you can put green in like the white highlights so it's off green? Gives you that feel. They don't make that in polychromos. So I keep 4 or 5 different Prismacolors on hand for that. Karen Dash is pretty close to Prismacolors, but they're like more expensive than polychromos, and I just don't see the point in it. You know, but they're good color pencils. But I mostly just use polychromos for my color pencil work. But yeah, with the Copics though, check it out. Even if you don't like use color pencil because it takes longer, they go over great over Copics, man. So if you're ever doing a sketch cover and you're using Copics or you're doing a commission and you know they don't blend right or they get sticky or something, man, just use the color pencil to like smooth it out. I'm telling that right there. See that right there? That's that light green I'm telling you about. I put it. The lighting when I did this wasn't the best. I've gotten way better at lighting my room. And the oil doesn't. No, man. No. Doesn't affect the oil. They're oil based. They're not actual oil paints. So no, it doesn't affect the alcohol. It goes over nice. No, I've been doing color pencil. I just switched totally to color pencil because I just hate dealing with markers. But I did do some marker work over the Strathmore cardstock, toned cardstock, and I like the way markers worked on that. Todd says, I see people use color pencils and just can't get into it. Yeah. What I would think about, man, like get some good I did it. Did I do a color pencil thing? I might go through all my color pencil if I didn't make a video, but I can show you like get like if you get just buy them individually. Dick Blick. Don't ever get a set because you're not gonna use all those colors. But you could get like some good yellows, a couple good yellows, and the black. And anytime you do like highlights, dude, like a couple good yellows, an orange and stuff. Anytime you get highlights, you can just use that yellow, and they're luminescent. So like they really do good glows and stuff, man. Like they're really good for doing like that's like okay, lightsabers. Like I did an Obi-Wan piece with the lightsaber. Doesn't look right with markers, man. But lightsaber for if the color pencil was just a lightsaber, it would glow. So the Triple Color pencil, man, is to not hold the front. Like if you want more pigment, you hold the front of it. If you want less pigment, you hold closer to the back. So I'm generally coloring like around here, right? So like they're very pigmented. And so right there, I want a little bit more. I'm holding it closer because I'm burnishing around the edges. But never with your knuckles, man. You don't have to press hard. That's the one thing. Like most color pencil work you see on YouTube, it's folks like burnishing the shit out of them to make them like perfectly clean. No. No, you keep the texture, man. You keep the texture. That says, yeah, give a few a try. Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're about $3, somewhere between $2 and $3 a pop. But and they last forever, dude. Like they last a long time for what you get out of them. And just depends. Like I said, I can give you any amount of advice. Like if you're like, hey, how would you do this, dude? Ask me. I will answer them. You know, I'll print out a copy of whatever you got and go over in color pencil and show you how you can pump it up. You know. But I was adding so much color pencil to these pieces, I just was like, well, let me just skip the markers. Well, markers give you faster coverage. I'm not gonna lie. I think for that kind of coverage, either I would do the marker piece on tonal paper. I kind of prefer that, or I could do watercolor, and then once it completely dries, you can use color pencil over it, or you can airbrush. This is a little trick, Todd. Here's a trick you should try out sometime to experiment. Get a cheap airbrush. I got like one of these cheap ones for like cakes, right? Let me see if it's kind of, does it show? Does it show it right here? I got these like cake airbrushes, right? Designed for, you know, pretty simple, portable. It's like really tiny. And you can take clear gesso or art medium. Art medium has a smoother finish, and clear gesso has a grittier finish, like sandpaper. Depends on what you want out of it. Dilute it with a little bit of water, and you can airbrush over your piece, right? And create a good textured surface, and then you can add mixed media on top of that. You know, wax color pencils like Prismacolors. Medium goes a little better with the oils. I'm sorry, the art medium. Dry pastel, all that stuff. Yeah, that's where I'm adding that, yeah, that little color pencil into the highlights and stuff. But I just found, man, like it's just way easier to do that than to spend forever. To spend like alcohol markers and blending. And you can get smooth transitions. Like I can use the black to push things back, you know, versus more marker. Because you know, at some point with the marker, the paper only takes so much anyway. There's, you know. I goes, this is all to make the work go faster, right? No, it's to make the work better. But let me tell you where you do make your speed. I'll tell you where you get speed with this stuff, right? Where you get speed is when you can make, let's say you do a Batman, right? Or whatever character, Wolverine. You do something that people like. You can make 4 or 5 reproductions of the same ones. And that's where it goes faster, because once you know how to do it, you're just redoing it, and you layer and you step everything through. So like I'll do, like when I find one that people really like, I'll make several, you know, up to 10 versions of that same exact one, and then I'll sell them 10 different times, you know. And that actually goes by pretty quick because you're just remaking it. I mean, if you don't like to do that, if every time you want to do something, you want it to be unique and different, that's, you know, then there you go. But I figure, like, man, like, there wasn't just one Starry Night. The guy made like 6 of them or something, dude. It's great. You know, there's a bunch of them. So now if I with some genius artist out there, you know. Todd says, have been experimenting with printed final inks and painting. Yeah, I got I've been doing that for a little bit. Works great. I got the Workforce 7853 or whatever, uses pigmented ink, so they don't bleed. They're waterproof. That works great. I definitely want to do more with that. I'm going to do more watercolor or distress ink painting with that stuff for certain. You know, the saucy stuff is the only thing I'm uncertain about right now, because like I kind of hit a limit with that. Like sometimes it looks great for like monsters and stuff. Doesn't work so well on everything else. So. But I definitely want to add. I'll find something to make it work. But yeah, the Workforce is great, man. It was like $250 for that thing, and it's got an 11x17 scanner built into it. But yeah, you could print out your lines for the card, you know, for a card 5 times and just paint them 5 different times. Like this particular one here, I did this version. I have the lines that I did separately, which with red shade and ink. And then I also did a version of this on craft tonal paper, right? It was all white, red, and black on craft tonal paper. And Todd, I have since, this was it, last month. I did this in 2017. Last month, I did a digital version, digital color version. I posted on my DeviantArt and IG and stuff. And I made that a poster in one of the rooms in the comic. So, as always, you got to figure out what works for you. But I love using soft pastel as a finishing for like textures on the background and stuff. And so that gesso technique is really nice, because you can get a nice sandy surface on anything with airbrushing that stuff on, you know? I put every one of my fan arts I ever did of any Spawn thing and into the books. So all that fan art is now official art. What was I gonna say? Oh man, yeah, like, I mean, I don't know when, dude, but at some point it would be dope, dude, if we did like a series of like X-Men or something, and we just like split up the characters and then like co-stream or something. Something like that, where we just do something. Where this way, you know, be like, Todd's doing this half, I'm doing that half, blah, 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 blah. You know? Because at some point I won't be drawing Spawn, you know? And it's like, I just think the more, you know, folks co-promote, the better. That's why I start off the streams now by promoting a, you know, 3 or 4 different artists as much as I can, dude, you know? Yeah, it'd be fun, right? Yeah, I don't know about, I don't know, man. Like, I just think the things that always like really interested me was like, I mean, some of the fast stuff. I mean, some guys were just genius. Like Jim Lee could draw, you know, his ass off. But I mean, like the Joe Jusko masterpiece, the Bill Sienkiewicz masterpiece. So I'm always trying to find a way to like make these things feel more like artistic endeavors than like work for hire endeavors, you know. Mine would look better, but you get more of them done. That's right. Yeah, that's how it works. That's how it works. It was funny, man. It was like all the guys that ever turned in late books ended up running the companies, you know? Plus, I find that when I go too fast, I start to parody myself. Like, I start to, like, create shapes and things that just don't work right. But I don't know. Like, it's funny what people think is fast these days, because it's like, when I was a kid, it was like, all right, Joe Matt and them were like penciling 2 pages a week or 3 pages a week. They weren't inking them too, you know. So the fact that I'm doing 2 or 3 a week, but I am getting finished inks, I consider that a win. You know, is it fast for Marvel? Probably not. But like at the same time, who cares? Like, speed kind of gave us AI. You know, it's like, well, now you could turn something around in like 20 seconds. So if you really want speed, I'll just head on over to Midjourney. You know. But if you want something I would do, then only I'm really going to make that. As long as I'm putting in my 9 or 10 hours a day, I feel, you know, I did my best. Now it says, how many hours a week can you art before you burn out? So burnout, I don't think is a product of drawing too much. In terms of like always drawing. Creatively, I think if you're doing the same thing all the time, and if you're under stress is to me like, but there is like a limit. So like I prefer to draw between 40 and 50 hours a week, you know? And then, you know, I take the weekends off, or I do my own art, mentally creative stuff, you know? Sometimes I have to turn on the juice a little bit, right? But I found that I only do that for really well-paying projects. If I'm like, it's fair and pray, you know, then you get my 40, 50 hours a week. I don't push into the 60 hours territory for a lot of people, man, you know? So, I creatively, I found, like I said, 8 to 9 hours a day is the sweet spot on a normal bit, like anyone else. And after I'm done with the big project, I like to, if I can afford it, then I'll take a few weeks off to do my own stuff. But exercise is a big deal, so I walk 3 miles every morning. You know, I eat well. You know, and I don't overcommit. I'm just learned to not overcommit. You know, that requires a 2-income house, as far as I'm concerned. So you're going to need someone to help bring in some income to make up the diff. But every now and then I get a really great project that pays more than even that. And when those come in, I just save as much money as I can. 24 to 25 hours before you start. A week, huh? A week? 25 hours a week? Yeah. I think it's because I spent 2005 to 2014 working in physical art departments. You know, clock in the morning, you know, drive. Sometimes I had to drive 2 hours to some jobs, man. Drive to a job, clock in, and have to make art under pressure. And I actually started my first art department job in t-shirts. I was doing t-shirts, graphic design, but I was drawing all those elements and stuff back in the day. So a lot of those were hand-drawn stuff. I started that while I was still in art college at the Art Institute because I didn't think they were ever going to help me get a job. So I kept applying until I got into that place, Mad Engine. So I was doing that while I was still in college. They knew that, so they gave me some time here and there to go to class. You know, I made sure I only had a 4 hour here and there. And then to make up that difference while I was in class, I would work on stuff from work at home, dude, to make up, you know, the project times and stuff. Unpaid, obviously, because they weren't very cool. But it did teach me how to wake up and mentally prepare for all that. What I would do, I mean, I think at this is why we gotta talk. It's so hard with. Hey, hold on, man. Do you got a microphone? I could send you you on Discord, Todd? You on Discord? You can chat. You can always chat, dude, if it's easier than typing. But let me know. If not, no stress. But with like rando cards and commissions and all that stuff, I found that it's easier to just group everything together. Like if I'm designing 4 or 5 at a time, and then I'm drawing 4 or 5 at a time, and then coloring 4 or 5 at a time. You know? And so long as I'm doing that, and I'm spending time with the dog and walking away, then yeah, I don't burn out. The burnout for me these days comes when I work with someone that makes me feel like I have imposter syndrome and drives me nuts. Like, I don't want to seem ungrateful, but Blizzard was like that for me. You know, I only worked with them for 4 months, but they made me question wanting, like, should I even be an artist? You know? So it's like when you head up into that situation where I'm like, get out, dude. Oh, you're eating. Yeah, no stress. But you're deeper into your skill set, so you're spending less mental. I don't know about that. I'm always figuring things out, dude. Like, if anything, I will admit, over the last year, you guys can't see it, but I have figured out my digital drawing form technique. Like, I've never been good at. I've been digitally drawing since 2008, but I always started by doing rough pencils and then going over it in Photoshop, but it was never a productive way to work. But this last year on this book, the big challenge for me was how can I get not just a final, but that it had the look I wanted it to have, where it looks traditional but pretty detailed, and it has this cross between, like, I guess Bill Watterson and like Carlos Maglia, you know, kind of stuff, you know, which are just things that I love doing. And so, like, I had to make a bunch of brushes or modify brushes, and then I did it the hard way the first 2 issues, wherein I drew everything. Sometimes I had to do backgrounds traditionally, scan them in and trace, and then I figured out how I can get really good at blobbing buildings and backgrounds were the toughest to do digitally, because I figured out a way for me to blob them in, blob in all the details, draw over that, and then draw over that, and turn those lines into the final line. So, like, that definitely. And color pencil is something I can do without trying, so that's nice. But digitally painting, digitally coloring, I still struggle. Like, still want to get better at that. I don't really have that down the way I would like. And watercolor definitely takes me time. But yeah, I would say in terms of like how I want things to look in art style, like I've settled in this last year. Like, I figured, okay, this is going to be superhero, that's cartoony. Like, kind of know what I want to do now. But I mean, how long did that take me, you know? I turned 46 this year, so might have been better to figure that out 15 years ago, but such is life. It's like sketch cards. I hate drawing on the cards. Or sketch card formats or sketch covers. I hate doing the art on, like how you do, where you do it normally. You do, like, you figure out what you want and then you just draw it. I hate doing that. I always like to check my proportions and stuff. But I did get one of those apps where you can, like, you know, AR, where you can like see your drawing projected onto something. And I figured this out back in like 2016. And then I can just like trace my art onto those things. Although now, man, I don't know. I guess you guys sell sketch covers on Whatnot pretty well. But like, I found that I just sell my art. Like, I found that I just sell the same price. So I don't really see the point in it. They look cool, but the amount of effort that takes. Plus, like, you know, grading and stuff. Like, I don't know, man. I just make my art now. But it is hard. It's hard on the comic side when they're like, I mean, that's a good example. Okay, like the one that they already show, where they're like, Todd had said, hey, it's going to be a convention. There's going to be a convention and Chibi's going to be like unhappy. I'm like, all right, I got to draw a comic convention. But they already drew a comic convention in the first series, because I remember it. So I wanted it to be something, you know, different. People like them like a collector. Yeah, it's like a collector. But for me, like, I can just say, like, I like doing them. I would just say, I don't, how do I say this? I can't charge any more for them than I would normal art. You know what I mean? So like, it's like it's just, I don't know. Like, and I'm like, well, I guess that's a good thing. But I do have like a crap ton of these sketch covers. I got some Spawn ones, you know? So maybe like I could get a premium on that, you know, after the book comes out. That'd be nice. But when it comes to the basic rates, for me, it's like can't really make any more on a sketch cover than I can in regular art. I think Shelby was telling me back in the day, he was like, yeah, man, it's like $400-600 a cover. I'm like, really? And I looked into it, not for Rob. So the last sketch cover I did was the Wolverine and the Obi-Wan, and they came out great, man, and they feel great when you're holding them and they're all decked up. It's super fun. But like I said, I just Todd says it's the same price for a blank or a 9x12 for you, right? So I'm like, yeah. And I really want to do more watercolor backgrounds with color pencil characters, so kind of doesn't make any sense with sketch covers. But I do think it's cool. If it was a 2-to-1, it was like, oh man, $500 for a sketch cover, or $400 for a sketch cover, 200 for, or 125 for me, and then like 375 for the sketch cover. Well, that would make a lot of sense. But Shelby does great sketch covers. You do great sketch covers. Less space on the blank. Have a couple blanks still for fun. Oh, nice. Nice. See? Okay, man, if I could get those Spawn ones, or it'd be great. Typically 200 to 300, right? Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, my whole thing is like, I just can't, beyond the price, it's just, I'm afraid of these collectors, man. They want everything perfect. They want me to guarantee 9 8s, and I'm just like, I just make the art, man. Like, I mean, I don't ding it up, but it's like I don't know what that means. I'm not a white gloves guy. I'm a get art all over my hands guy. So it's like, that's weird. Weird for me. But dude, I did a Vader one a long time ago. I mean, like, they came out fun, like I really like the way the Wolverine and the Obi-Wan came out. But yeah, I would want 500, I think. Plus with color pencil, like full color pencil. Mandika says that's a Violator. Yeah, it's a Violator. I drew that back in 2017. I used his tongue like Spider-Man's leggings. But I do like the way sketch covers feel when they're all painted up and stuff. I mean, they look great. When they're spot on and they're detailed and they got all the colors and stuff, that just looks like Marvel masterpiece style things. So I do appreciate that. Hey, Marissa. Marissa's on Twitch. Marissa Pope. That's another artist she does. You do do sketch covers, right? She does giant prints and actual cover art variants. Do you do sketch? You do sketch covers, right, Marissa? I'm brain farting. Of course you do. Of course you do. Of course. And follow Marissa Pope. MARISSAPOPE. Yeah, she does sketch covers. Yeah. She does the con circuits. What are that? Amazing group of artists can actually draw at conventions. Unlike me. All right, bro. Gonna take a chill. Nice chat. Yeah, Todd. Anytime, man. Appreciate you showing up. Appreciate it. Well, Marissa, it's right there in your name. I'm just reading it. I wish I could say I remembered that, but it says Marissa Pope. So I read the letters. Everyone follow Todd Beats. Beats. And he plays beats on his streams and whatnot. Todd's great. Todd's good peoples. Yeah, Marissa, if you ever want to come on and chat while you're working, you're always welcome. You know? Marissa says, it's true, but you get so many emails where people spell your name wrong. That's right. I know. That's why I go by Sketchcraft. You know? I go by Sketchcraft. So. They don't spell it too wrong. They always spell my name wrong. That's what they do. Yeah, you have Discord, Marissa? I can send you a Discord. I can add me on the Discord. I can just add your voice on. Super easy. Like it's audio. Yeah, audio. No video. Just audio. Yeah, no stress. Does Facebook, if you're on Discord, send me your Facebook, whatever. If not, maybe you can call in on Facebook. Sketchcraft. I'm Sketchcraft. Marissa, I'm Sketchcraft on everything. I got everything. I got the AOL. You know, I got the whatnot. I got all that stuff. Well, let's try Discord's easy. We can do Discord. Better quality. The messenger stuff's a little wonky. But yeah, add me in the Discord, and I will drop you right in. We can talk to a professional variant cover artist, Marissa Pope. Doing amazing variants. Super fun. And then we'll see if she hates being called that. I hate when I say, oh, they do this. They're like, I don't just do that. You're like, God damn it. Made the mistake of calling Shelby an inker once. I'm like, that's not true. He illustrates. Damn it. You know. Like, what do they call Rob? Rob, sketch artist. Like, yeah, that's fair enough. You know? It's true. No, there's truth to that. Or certain. Millennial Marissa Pope learning how to use Discord on the fly as we speak. It's the very top, it says friends, and then all the way to the right in green it says add friend, and you just type that name right into there. I swear, if it isn't TikTok or Snapchat, they just all know what to do. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? They'd be like, stupid Gen Xer. You always got some wise ass comment. That's my generation. The generation of wise asses. Correct. I have a niece right around your same age, you know. I understand. Or you can just Facebook me your Discord name and I will add you and you'll see my request pending. Whatever's easier. You did. There you are. Alrighty. And then I'll give you a call. Start voice call. And I will check the audio. See if it's coming in.
Is it good?
Hey, you there. Let me just tone you down a little bit. Bring you back. It reset my volume here on all the voices.
Okay.
All right. Hey, folks, if she's coming in too loud, you got to tell me. All right? Don't wait till the end of the video. Like an hour the other night. Like, there's an echo. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm not listening to this. You're listening to this.
You can't hear the echo.
Right, folks. You have to tell Rob about the echo, or Rob cannot fix the echo. Like, come on. What are you doing? What are you working on today? I mean, generally speaking, you don't have to give it away. But you're working on a print, variant cover?
Just a cover. It's like this demon girl. She looks a lot like Hell Witch, but it's not like super secret. I don't know how the guy feels about sharing. Like
they never like you to share. I'm just letting you know.
So I'm like, oh, I won't draw this. Like some guys don't care. Like some guys are just like super. Like I don't care. Like more promotion for me. But other guys are just like, don't you dare. I will not pay you. Nothing too crazy.
That's why I started the stream with the videos in the background so I could still stream while I work.
Yeah.
I wonder.
That's a clever idea.
Yeah, but some artists get salty about it. Like, oh man, putting real art back. No, it's just this fake stuff behind me. So you can do it too. I didn't trademark it, but I do wonder if I'll get a note. Hey, were you working on Violator or something? No, man, it's old.
Yeah, as you can tell, it took me like 10 minutes to figure out how to join Discord. I don't know if I would know how to put a video behind me while I draw.
Oh well, this is Let me tell you how this worked out. Was if you have an NVIDIA card, you can get this thing called NVIDIA Broadcast, right?
Okay.
And NVIDIA Broadcast is software only, and it will automatically delete the background around you.
Oh, okay.
So I don't even have a green screen or nothing behind me. It's just my room. But it's
okay.
so you'll see I fade a little bit here and there, right? It's not perfect, but who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Google or the Zoom, like the Zoom calls or whatever.
Correct.
Where you can do that.
What's cool about that software too is they have this noise filtering out, so it can filter out all the. If you're tapping your desk, it won't ever pick it up and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's got like a AI, I don't know, like software generated limiter and stuff on there too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You listen to like a lot of podcasts and stuff whenever you draw.
Do I listen to podcasts when I draw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm listening to one right now about this girl who's like, she's a Russian sexpionage person.
Right.
And it's super interesting. I didn't even. Well, I'm not gonna say I didn't know this existed, but I've never actually listened to anything like it. I'm just like I'm super into it. Like I'm almost done with the podcast. It's like 8 episodes long.
La Femme Nikita, as I would call them back in the day. Yes. Yeah, it's real.
Because I get tired of listening to music a lot while I'm drawing. Because we sit at our desks for so long. It's like I have like 10 albums that I go through. I'm just like, well, I'm tired of listening to that, so I guess I'll listen to podcasts now.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone through the litany of lectures and fiction and nonfiction and entertainment podcasts, and I sometimes I hit a point where I'm like, people are just repeating stuff now. Like even if it's a totally different pod, I'm like, I'm just hearing the same thing. So like right now, I'm like, I don't know. Like I listen to a few here and there. Entertainment wise, I like Double Toasted. They're pretty good for just daily entertainment. Like movie reviews and stuff. Double Toast is great. Sometimes Corey does a puppet show. Like he has a puppet. He'll do game shows with the people will call in. It's funny, man. He's super good. But yeah, I mean,
Corey's the guy that lives here, isn't he? In Phoenix?
No, this is Corey Coleman. He lives in Austin, Texas. Yeah, he's been doing his show since the early 2000s. They used to be on public access in Texas.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they're just like a comedy show kind of thing, But Double Toast is great. But art wise, I mean, I listen to Liefeld's podcast. I listen to that. And I did listen to the Comics Kayfabe guys, even though I didn't always agree with them. But I was like, I'll put that on. But right now, I'm like, well, I guess that's not happening. So
yeah. The Gabe's Caves guys, they're fun. I met them in Fort Worth 2 years ago, and they're really nice.
Every now and then I jump on the Comic Binge podcast, Binge, Paul Herman and them. It's a smaller channel, but they're pretty like wholesome. It's a wholesome show,
Okay.
They do comics reviews and like buyer's guides and stuff. And Paul's he's an innocent, nice dude. I go on there and I'm just like, this is you guys. Color commentary.
There's one I listen to. It's a tattoo podcast, but it's called So You're Kind of a Big Deal. And it just goes through like the gamut of like these really high profile tattoo artists. And I guess I didn't realize tattoo artists are a dime a dozen, right? There's only like a few good ones. They're like, holy crap, like this guy's like so good. It's really interesting listening to them talk about art and the way that they do and how they became tattoo artists and stuff, and like how they travel internationally and everything. And I really enjoy it. It's got like I don't know, like it's a nice break. Like it's a nice break from like true crime or like comic book stuff or
right.
whatever. And like the Bancroft Brothers animation podcast is like a really good one too. I haven't listened to it in a long time though. I like animation, but I don't really know. I guess it's just kind of like more like tattoos, like tattoo artists. Like I don't know a lot of tattoo artists, but it's like kind of interesting how they live their lives. And I feel like animators are just like so much more wholesome, so maybe it's not as interesting.
Well,
really listen to them. I need a little like dirt and like grime with my stories.
Yeah, well, if you actually spend time with anime, you'd find that the stories they tell of where they've worked is where the true crime comes in. You know,
they can't talk about that publicly, I'm sure.
Right, but my college teacher was a Disney animator, worked on like from Oliver and Company through Little Mermaid and all that stuff, and then cool. When I lived in San Diego, I'm from San Diego, and like during college and even for a couple years after, there's an animator story concept illustrator called Shane Glines. You ever hear of Shane Glines?
Yes.
Yeah. He's been on the Disney Batman. Yeah, he's done all that. He's done everything. But I want to say around 2002, 2003, he had a board called Shane Glines Sketchboard Sessions. It was an art board. This is pre-DeviantArt. And so like that's where like the artists would post. So that's where Scotty Young first started posting stuff, and Sean Galloway. Everyone was there before they were who they were. Mark Brooks, right? All these people. But Shane would hold these sketch jams at his house in Van Nuys. So me and my art buddy Eddie and sometimes my buddy Joe, we would just drive up there, and all these artists would gather, from art students at CalArts to animators, 3D animators, 2D animators, from all the major companies. We all just sit at his house sketch jamming. Like it was super wholesome, like and that was where I had my first X-Men moment where they're like, "What's your name?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm Rob. What's your real name?" "Oh man, I don't know, Sketchcraft." Like whatever, And but that's how Sean Galloway got his Hellboy gig on that sketchboard sessions, because Mignola was on there, and he's like, "I'm putting out a call," and everyone tried out. They put up their own designs, and that was, Sean was the one that won that, and that was super super dope.
Yeah, I actually discovered Shane on Pinterest. I follow this guy called Bill Pershing.
Yeah, I know Bill Pershing.
Yeah, Bill Pershing. He did the International Cuties, and I have his book Lucky Boy. And so I had a bunch of art stuff that was similar to Shane's saved already, so it just automatically fed me styles like that. And I can't remember which one. I can't remember what piece it was. But I was like, oh my god, I love this guy's style. It's so it's so cool. So then I went on Stuart NG Books and was looking up his art books and stuff. And I don't think they had anything in stock. They had things online. They didn't have anything in stock. Which was I was like, I'm gonna buy this stuff right now. But no, I like Shane's work a lot. And there's another guy. I can't remember his name. He draws kind of old. You know that rat on the car? He's got the big teeth
rat fiend
and the big guy. Yeah. He kind of draws Sean Dickinson. I like Sean Dickinson too.
Okay.
He does a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. That's cool that you guys did that in California. That's awesome.
Yeah, the Raffing guy, he my animation teacher represented him in court because he had an interview at Pixar. They brought him in to do some designs, and for whatever reason he left one behind on accident, and they just took it, and that became the little green eyeball dude in Monsters Inc. People don't know this story, but it's true. And so he sued, and so when they built the Monsters Inc. ride at California Adventure, there was no green dude, right? Mike? It was Mike, right? There's no Mike Wazowski.
Yeah, Mike Wazowski.
It was all Sully, right? Remember, it was all Sully. You didn't see any of the promotions.
Crazy.
They were in litigation, and my animation, Jerry Bryce, he represented him, and they won. They won money off that, and then settled and got a deal, and then that's when Monsters Inc. came out, and now they see them all together and everything. But yeah, they stole that. They stole it from the Rafting guy.
God, that was forever ago.
Yeah, but I got to hear all about it at the time, So he's You'd be like, they're gonna steal your art, Rob. You know, I'm like, all right. I don't think I'm gonna have any interviews at Pixar anytime soon, but I'll keep that in mind. You know,
I mean, you never know.
You know,
Your style could totally be used as like a Disney like cartoon, like what was that? What was that show, like Digimon or something? Or, like,
it's not Disney, but I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Well, I doubt that, but. That being said, if I ever need legal representation, I know who to hit up, you know?
Yeah, like Dan Mendoza. Are you familiar with his work?
Who?
Mendoza? Dan Mendoza for Zombie Tramp.
Oh, I know the book Zombie Tramp, yes.
Yeah, like he worked at Action Lab for a while, and I don't know the whole thing, but but Action Lab kept Zombie Tramp, but he wanted it back, so like he went through like a whole slew of like legal issues, or not legal issues, but like legal hoops to get her back. So
it was a long time ago. I want to say 2011 or 12. I was at a con with it. Might have been San Diego Con. He hit me up. He's like, "Oh, Rob, big fan of your art." I'm like, "Oh, dude, man, I really appreciate it. I love the book." Mm-hmm. And at the time, I was doing these like covers for Richie Rich, right? At Ape Entertainment. And I was like, "Why are you working on Richie Rich?" And I was like, "All right." It's like, one, my dad loves Richie Rich. This is the comic he grew up with. You know, I'm trying to make my dad happy. Two, I don't see anyone else putting money into Rob's pocket right now, so I went where the work was available. You know, that's what they had. So it was funny, man. I was like, I got you. I got what you're thinking. Like, I understand. It's beneath Rob, but you know. The way it worked out. That's the only thing I ever did. My dad, before he passed, he was like super proud of. He couldn't believe he was holding a Richie Rich comic with my art on it. Like,
oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So the funny part about those books are, they're huge in South America. So every now and then they turn up on the regular books turn up on eBay for like $100. Like, because there's so few of them.
Crazy.
Yeah. And I was like, did they leave me any copies around here? Do I have any? Like, I need to put them up.
They can put them up and put
they didn't give me a lot of comps, so I don't. Yeah.
They never do.
Yeah,
they never do. It's almost an ongoing battle of if you're gonna get comps or not.
Yeah, I'm trying to. What's the convention circuit like for you? Do you do like 20 shows? Do you do one or two? Like, how does that work out?
Definitely not 20. I'm not a roadie.
Oh, okay.
By any means. It's so exhausting, and I get sick all the time. Like every other show, I get sick. Like last year, I think I did 8 shows last year.
Wow.
And I only have planned 2 more for this year. I only have 2 more planned for this year. I have C2E2, the one in Tucson, because Brian Pulido asked me if I wanted to go, and I was like, because he runs it. I'm like, well, yeah, of course.
I ever tell you about the time I met Brian Pulido? The first time?
So.
Yeah. So in 1993, when they first formed Chaos, so like I said, I'm from San Diego, and my school had this flyer. It said, hey, there's an art contest for this comic book shop called Good Guys, Bad Guys, which is a comic book shop at a Grossmont Mall that just opened up. Really ritzy, kind of like they put a lot of money into it, you know? They're right at like the height of the speculator boom, right? It didn't last. But they're like, yeah, if you design a character, they're gonna have a character contest, and it'll end up in the comic from Chaos Comics. And I did have the Evil Ernie trade, so I knew the name Brian Pulido, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wow, so I'll give this a shot. I never expected to win, but at least I'll meet Brian Pulido and maybe Stephen Hughes and stuff. And everyone was there but Stephen Hughes. But Brian was there with his wife at the time, or his wife, same, what's her
Same
name?
wife, yeah, Fran, yeah.
Fran, yeah. So they were all there, and that was when they were still coloring their books with markers. So they had their colorist there, and he was coloring with markers and stuff.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
And it was like, yeah, and I remember like I was in there and I'm looking at this one character, and his character had all these guns. I'm like, man, that's a lot of guns. And his girlfriend, sorry, what's her name again? Fran, right?
Fran, yeah.
Fran goes, I like guns. And I'm like, oh wow. Good for you, Brian. You did a good job. You did, yeah. There were,
Fran's a riot.
yeah.
Fran's so much fun.
Yeah, she was super fun. So I won second place. I didn't make the win. But
so we're the same in that aspect. Like I never win first on on anything like art related. I like never win first.
Right.
Like anything in like high school or like college, I always got second. I was like, all right, good to keep my ego in check, but damn, like at least once I'd like to win first, just once. that would be nice.
That's why if I haven't entered an art contest since 2007, but when I did do that, I would always see, well, what's the second and third place prize? Because that's what I'm probably going to win. So what's that? And the last one I entered was this. Remember that second Ghost Rider movie that came out? There was the second one. Yeah, there was a second one. They had a poster contest, but I read the rules and it didn't say you couldn't draw your own poster. Like it was worded in a way, I'm like, everyone's going to use these assets. They have these marketing assets, right? And they're probably going to do this like Mondo vector trace over thing, because that was all the rage at the time. May have been 2009, whatever it was when it came out. But I was like, I'm just going to draw something. So I had this pencil Ghost Rider sketch, and then I did like a digital Drew Struzani kind of like Sienkiewicz-y color over it, And I sent that in, and I got second place. And the people were all mad at me. You're supposed to use the assets, like that. I'm like, nah, it says right there. Where does it say you have to use the assets? Like I was the only one who didn't, but it doesn't even look like a poster. It looks like some comic art. I'm like, yeah, it's a shame the comic book movie has a poster that looks, that has a comic book art. Yeah. Right. Yeah. But that was nice because they gave me, I went in, the second place prize was all these, what was this, Sony store credit? It was like $700, and so I used it to get all these 3D Blu-rays and stuff that I wanted at the time and everything.
That's cool, yeah.
But yeah, I would never. When Todd was doing that cover contest, some people were like, "You gonna enter that?" I'm like, "No, I'm drawing a book right now, for Todd." Like no, I don't think.
I'm.
Yeah, it kind of already won, so. but even if I wasn't, I would never win this stuff. So it's like, it's just not. Our contests have their own thing,
I probably haven't entered in. Because I don't think we'll say the quote unquote contests for like college, they weren't like contests. They were like already like, I guess they were juried. Like they were juried to see like if your piece could even be in the even in like the gallery anyway. And then they would go around. They would like judge based on like composition and use of color, blah blah blah, like artsy stuff. And I guess it wasn't really like a real contest. I just wanted to see if I could get into the show. And then there was like stuff after that. But the last contest that I remember entering in was like this Easter basket contest for my neighborhood. Like they had like a coloring book page that you had to color, and then they had to like pick the best one. And then I won first place, and I was like probably like 10 whenever I did that. So I don't even count it as like current. It was like 20 years ago.
Right. Yeah,
but I guess it's sweet candy out of the deal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've always, like, my favorite thing to do, I don't do it as much now. I'm still one of those guys who wears a mask, all right? So, but my favorite thing to do would be go to like Starbucks or the store or something, and they'd always